So imagine small businesses, and Nick, this is where I have a lot of respect, not just for any business owner, but small businesses, to get together what's necessary just to open the business in the first place. And then to keep that, despite all of the odds, to keep a small business running is difficult enough. Then something like this happens. Holy cow, how do you even get out there and restart it? I can't even imagine where do they begin. It must be really frustrating. Well, that's why we invite on the president of First Interstate Bank, Dave Bruni. Thank you, Dave, for coming on the program. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Glenn, for having me.
Well, now we take a look at small businesses around the state of Wyoming. I can understand not just their frustration, but I imagine waking up with heart palpitations because at some point they've got to not just open the doors, they might have to reorder goods again, they might owe their bank, they might owe their landlord. Where do they begin?
Well, at First Interstate Bank, Glenn, we reached out to our clients via various channels, online banking and phone calls and emails, etc. And we encouraged them to connect with their banker, whether it's a commercial banker or a retail banker or mortgage related, so we could help them assess their financial situation. And as a result, we've executed hundreds of 3-month deferrals, payment deferrals, for both commercial and residential customers. Interestingly enough, also the federal government, it's been very well publicized, the payroll protection program under the purview of the Small Business Administration, the SBA. That program is actually managed and funded by the banks. The PPP program is a forgivable loan program, provided 75% of the loan funds are used for payroll in the 8 weeks after the loan is funded. This program has required a huge effort on the part of the banking industry, and the banking industry here in Wyoming has put in an incredible amount of work and clearly demonstrates our passion for and our commitment to our clients. One of the things I'd like to say about the payroll protection program is in Wyoming, my team, I'm actually responsible for all of the bankers that across our 15-branch footprint across the state of Wyoming. I get to lead a couple hundred bankers, which is a huge privilege. We funded and closed 1,500 of these PPP loans in 13 days, totaling more than $175 million, which went to Wyoming businesses for their payroll. Because we were able to approve and fund over 95% of our applicants in round one, the demand in round two, which is going on this week, is much less. By the time this program closes out, we will have closed over 2,000 loans to Wyoming businesses, injecting more than $200 million into the Wyoming economy. And that goes right ultimately through the business to the employees. So the way it's structured, it incents the business owner to recall their furloughed employees and get them back on the payroll. So it's got the potential to be a real win-win for all concerned.
And Mr. Bruni, with the small business owners you've spoken with and worked with regarding the Paycheck Protection Program, how do they feel it's functioning?
Oh gosh, Glenn, the actual website at the SBA the SBA unfortunately hasn't had the resources necessary to update and upgrade their online access point for the banks to connect with the SBA's back office. That the E-Tran program, and this has been the bottleneck all along. The SBA E-Tran program it was designed and built in the 1980s. So suffice it to say, it's a little clunky. With that said, I do know that the banks have had people up working all night long. I know we had a SWAT team of 40 or 50 bankers that were manually putting in loans into the E-Trans system to get the SBA approval, and they worked through the night, the last couple of nights. With that said, it's really been heartwarming to hear back from our clients, and the thank yous have been really moving, Glenn.
Well, let me ask you real quick about how people come to see it. This has got to be different if your bank is, or is it open so people can walk in and see you, or do they have to call you? How do you do business now that we're asking people to do business a bit differently?
Well, we transitioned pretty smoothly and staffed up our drive-ups, so you can obviously with a drive-up you can socially distance, and we sanitize the little capsule that goes through the tube to the person after every use, so as to keep our clients and our employees safe. How we are operating today is you can come into the lobby with an appointment, and we limit the number of people in the lobby meeting with our financial service reps, again, to protect our employees and to protect our clients. We are in the midst of working through and laying out a plan for gradually reopening, but there's going to be a new normal for all of us, and we're working out the details as we speak.
All right, President of First Interstate Bank, Dave Rooney, I appreciate not just your time on the air, but this is a lot of work for the community that you guys are doing. So thanks for reaching out and staying up all night to get this done. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Glenn, and thank you all to your listeners.